everyone, welcome to Emma, a true infidelity story. I'm excited to share a new story with you that I stood in front of the mirror, my reflection staring back at me like a stranger. I'm 39, 5'5", with curves that never quite seem to belong, my H***SS wide, my waist soft and a stomach that never quite flattened, no matter how hard I tried. My skin a mixture of pale with sun-kissed spots, a reminder of years spent on the sidelines of life, always watching, never fully engaging. The dark circles under my eyes weren't just from lack of sleep. They were the result of too many nights of wondering if I'd ever be enough for myself. For anyone, I wasn't perfect. I knew that I never tried to be. But I thought, maybe one day I'd finally feel at peace in my own skin. That day never came. And now I found myself here, standing on the edge of something that scared the hell out of me, wondering if I could do it. Whatever it was, I wasn't used to taking risks. I lived carefully, cautiously. Everything had to make sense before I acted. But today the air felt thick, heavy, with the weight of something unknown. The decision I was facing wasn't one anyone had imposed on me. There was no one to blame but myself. It had been brewing in me for weeks, months. Maybe this quiet pressure to do something huge, something that would change everything. But I couldn't seem to let go of my fear. I looked down at my cute dog curled up on the couch. He was the only one who didn't question me. The only one who never judged. He didn't need answers from me. He only needed my presence. But even he didn't know what was coming. He didn't know I was about to make the most terrifying decision of my life. What was it that I was afraid of? Why did every part of me resist this? It wasn't even something anyone else could see or understand. It was just a feeling, the fear of breaking away, of stepping into a world. I didn't know the fear of failing, but more than that, the fear of discovering I wasn't strong enough to face myself. I've spent my life holding back, not fully committing to anything. Relations***SS, careers, even friends***SS. I never let anyone too close. But now with my cute dog lying in front of me, trusting me like he always does, I felt like I was being forced into a corner. The corner wasn't physical. It was inside me, in that dark place where I'd been hiding for so long. The place where fear lived. The place where I'd been telling myself I couldn't go any further. But today that corner seemed smaller. I could feel it tightening, pushing me to confront it. I could feel the weight of the decision pressing against my CC****T, suffocating me. Could I really step forward? Could I face whatever came after I did? I tried to breathe, but it felt like my body was rebelling against me. My heart was pounding, my thoughts racing. What if I couldn't do it? What if I failed? What if I stayed stuck here forever? What if I never gave myself the chance to live, really live beyond the confines I'd built around myself? The more I thought about it, the more I realized something. This wasn't just about success or failure. It was about choosing to be brave, choosing to take the first step, even if it meant risking everything. I couldn't keep holding myself back. The fear wasn't going to disappear. Not until I faced it head on. My cute dog lifted his head as if sensing my turmoil, his brown eyes soft and steady, unwavering. He didn't care about my fears. He just cared that I was here, that I was present. That simple truth, that pure loyalty hit me like a wave. I closed my eyes, took one long shaky breath, and then another. It wasn't about doing the right thing. It was about doing something. The moment to act wasn't coming. It was already here. I could keep waiting, keep wondering, keep hiding, or I could face it. I could step forward, one foot in front of the other, even if the world was still spinning. In uncertainty, I opened my eyes and looked at my cute dog again. The silence between us felt charged, like it was the only truth left. I knew what I had to do, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't afraid to take that first step. Everything would change. Now I couldn't go back, but somehow that was enough. I couldn't stop thinking about it every second. It was there, looming over me, pressing down harder than before. The thoughts spiraled out of control, one after the other, like a string of broken glass shattering in my mind. What if I fail? What if this is just another one of those things I try and then abandon? What if I'm not enough to make it happen? Whatever it even is. I felt suffocated by my own doubts, like I couldn't breathe without them choking me. I tried to push them aside, but they kept coming back stronger and louder, louder with every passing minute. What if I'm not meant to do this? I looked at my cute dog again, lying there so calm, so simple. He didn't care about any of this. He didn't have these heavy thoughts crushing him, but me. I was drowning in them. The decision had been weighing on me for so long. I'd thought about it, toyed with it, turned it over and over in my head. But the fear kept me frozen. What would happen if I stepped out of this space I'd created for myself? What if I couldn't handle the consequences of moving forward? I couldn't keep living like this, always wondering. What if always stuck in the same spot? Never really doing. But the thought of failing, of stepping into the unknown, made my stomach churn. My mind was a mess. Thoughts raced. I was exhausted. Every time I thought I was ready, I found a reason not to act. What if I make the wrong choice? What if it's too late to turn back? But then what if it's too late to ever move forward? What if I stay here, stuck in this moment forever? The fear wasn't just holding me in place. It was suffocating me. I had to break free. But even now, part of me was terrified that I wouldn't be able to. What if I'm just too scared to change? I could feel the pull, though it was stronger than the fear. A quiet, insistent tug inside me, pushing me towards something I wasn't sure I could handle. But the more I resisted, the more it grew. I could feel myself being pulled apart, each thought, each doubt tearing me in three. How was it possible that something so simple, a decision, could have such a hold over me? I watched my cute dog as he shifted in his sleep, his breathing slow and steady. He didn't care about any of this. His world was small, simple. His trust in me was unwavering. No questions asked. But me. I wasn't sure I could even trust myself. Could I really face this? Could I really face myself? My heart pounded, my breath shallow, as I felt the weight of the decision pressing down on me. But the longer I waited, the more it seemed like there was no way out. I had to choose. I had to act. Or I would stay here forever, trapped inside my own fear. But how could I? How could I move when every part of me wanted to run away? How could I face the possibility of failing? Of never knowing what could have been? Yet I couldn't keep doing this. I couldn't keep running from it. I had to make a choice. Not because of anyone else, but because I couldn't stand being stuck in this place anymore. I couldn't stand the thought of not trying, of never knowing what would happen if I did. I took another breath, the ear thick with the weight of it all. I could feel my heart beating faster at the pressure building. What if it was too late? What if I waited and waited, and then it was gone? The moment lost. What if I didn't have the strength to face it? I closed my eyes. I couldn't see anything. The world around me went quiet, as if everything had paused. But in that silence I heard it, my own voice, barely a whisper. But it was there. Snow or never. I opened my eyes and looked at my cute dog one more time, his steady gaze like a lifeline. In the chaos of my mind, I couldn't stay here anymore. I couldn't let this fear keep me from living. I had to make the decision. No more excuses, no more waiting. The choice was mine, and for the first time in so long I felt ready to make it. I couldn't stop thinking about it, about everything that was at stake. Now it wasn't just a decision anymore. It wasn't just about what could happen if I moved, or what might happen if I stayed. Though it was something deeper, it was about what would happen if I didn't act. If I let the fear win, what kind of life would that be? A life full of regrets, full of what-ifs. I couldn't live with that. I couldn't bear the thought of staying stuck in this small, safe world I'd created for myself. But damn, the fear was still there, gnawing at me, relentless. It felt like a knot in my stomach, a constant reminder that this wasn't going to be easy. I wasn't ready to face the unknown, and yet I knew I had no choice. The longer I stayed frozen, the worse it would get. The fear would only grow, become more suffocating, until I could hardly breathe. I had to act. It wasn't about the right choice or the wrong choice anymore. It was about any choice. I couldn't let this moment slip away, not when I could feel it shifting inside me. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. For a moment, everything went quiet. The noise in my mind settled for just a second, and in that stillness I saw it clearly, sharply. What I needed to do. It wasn't a perfect answer. How it wasn't even an easy answer. But it was my answer. It was the one I had to make for me and no one else. The fear was still there, but it didn't have control over me anymore. The moment to act had arrived, and I couldn't hide anymore. The thoughts still circled, still tried to pull me back into doubt. But I wouldn't let them, not now. Not after everything I'd already faced. I wasn't going to let my fears hold me back any longer. I wasn't going to let them dictate my life. This was my chance to change. To break free from this prison I'd built around myself. I opened my eyes and looked at my cute dog again. He was still there, still trusting me. He didn't need me to be perfect. He just needed me to be present. That simple, unwavering trust made the decision clearer than ever. I wasn't making this choice for anyone else. I was making it for me, for the version of me that was still stuck in the shadows. Too afraid to step into the light with a shaky breath. I stood up, my legs unsteady beneath me. The world outside was still the same. But in that moment I knew something had shifted inside me. I wasn't the same person I was before I had made the choice. It was terrifying, yes. But it was also freeing for the first time in a long time. I felt like I was finally moving. Finally stepping into something that felt real. I wasn't sure where this decision would take me. But that didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that I had chosen to move forward. And that for now was enough. I could feel it. The moment was here. My heart was racing and my breath was shallow. Everything inside me screamed to stop, to run, to hide from whatever was coming. But there was no more running. No more waiting. The decision had been made. Now I had to live with it. I took a step forward, my legs shaky like they were fighting me. My mind was racing. Everything I'd been holding back was crashing over me all at once. What if this was a mistake? What if I wasn't strong enough to do this? What if I fell flat on my face, and there was no one there to catch me? But as soon as the thought crossed my mind, I felt it. The pull of something stronger than my fear. A surge of energy, of determination that told me I wasn't going to turn back. The air around me seemed heavier, charged with tension. Each movement felt like it was taking me further away from everything I knew. But it also felt like it was pulling me toward something new, something bigger. I had to let go of the doubts, the questions, the fears that had held me back for so long. I wasn't just walking anymore. I was running toward it, toward myself, even if it terrified me. I wasn't sure how it would turn out. But that didn't matter anymore. I couldn't keep living in the what-ifs. I pushed through the doubt, through the hesitation, and stepped further into the unknown. My mind raced faster now, but it wasn't as loud, wasn't as suffocating. It was almost like I could hear the quiet beat of my own heart. Louder than all the noise in my head. Every step was a battle. Every breath felt like I was fighting my own body to move forward. But I couldn't stop. Now I couldn't turn back. I looked down at my cute dog once more. He was still there, calm and steady. His eyes full of trust. As if he knew exactly what I was going through. In that moment I realized something. I didn't need to have all the answers. I didn't need to know what was going to happen next. I just needed to keep moving, keep facing this fear. One step at a time. My heart was still pounding. But it wasn't fear anymore. It was something else. Something that felt stronger than I had ever known. I reached the door, my hand trembling as I touched the handle. It was as though everything was waiting for me to make this one last move. Everything that had been holding me in place. Everything I had been afraid of was packed into that simple gesture. I could feel the weight of it all. But in a strange way, I also felt lighter, like I had been carrying a burden for so long. And now I was finally setting it down. I opened the door and the world outside was there unchanged. But everything within me had shifted. The air felt different, like it was filled with possibility. Even though I had no idea what would happen next. I stepped outside, feeling the ground beneath my feet, the cool air brushing against my skin. There was no turning back now. But I didn't need to. This was my moment. And even though I had no idea where this would lead, I was ready. Ready to face whatever came next. To move forward without the weight of fear dragging me down anymore. The journey wasn't over. It had only just begun. And somehow that was enough. When I stepped outside, everything felt different. The air was still, but it carried a weight I hadn't noticed before. It was like the whole world was holding its breath, waiting for me to decide if I would sink or swim. My heart still raced, but it didn't scare me anymore. I could feel the rhythm of it in my CC********, teed steady, strong, like a promise I hadn't made to anyone but myself. I had no idea what came next, no idea what I was really stepping into. But it didn't matter. I had moved, I had made the choice, and for the first time, in what felt like forever, I felt alive. The fear was still there lingering in the corners of my mind, but it wasn't as sharp. It didn't control me the way it once did. I wasn't afraid of it anymore. I had stared it down and made my choice. In spite of it, the world didn't suddenly become perfect or easy, but something had shifted inside me. A piece of the puzzle I had been missing for so long had finally clicked into place. And even if the road ahead was unclear, at least I was on it. I glanced down at my cute dog, who was still there, watching me calm as ever. There was something comforting in his quiet presence, in the way he trusted me with everything. He didn't ask questions, he didn't doubt, he just lived. And in that simplicity there was peace. I didn't have all the answers, and I wasn't sure where this decision would take me, but I knew I had to keep moving for him. For me, I took a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill my lungs, and for the first time, I wasn't weighed down by the constant noise in my head. I didn't have to have it all figured out. I didn't have to know the next step. What mattered was that I was moving forward, finally stepping out of the shadow I had been hiding in. Maybe I would stumble. Maybe I would fall, but I wouldn't stop. I didn't need external validation. I didn't need anyone to tell me I had made the right choice. The fact that I had taken the leap, that I had chosen to face the unknown was enough. I was enough. I felt a quiet strength settle over me, one I hadn't recognized in myself before. The world around me hadn't changed, but I had. I was different. I had stepped out of the cage I'd built around myself, and there was no going back now, and for the first time I was okay with that. I didn't need anything to be perfect. I didn't need everything to work out exactly as I imagined. I had made my decision, and that was all I needed. There was peace in that, in knowing I had finally stopped waiting for a sign. The sign had always been inside me, and I was ready to follow it wherever it might lead. If this story resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us craft more engaging stories for you.